Well, the weekend bloodbath trend continues. And while I have some news that you probably don't want to hear, if you're an XRP or a Bitcoin holder, you probably have to hear what I'm about to tell you. So we're going to go over exactly where we are, what I think is going to happen next, and what the next couple days hold. So with that, remember, every single day in crypto is an adventure. So please like and subscribe to the channel so you can watch my journey on a daily basis, because we put out new shows pretty much every single day. So with that, let's get into talking about where exactly we are right now in general. Now, if you look at the price of Bitcoin, and this is, I will tell you, this is the part that I told you probably didn't want to hear, but you probably need to hear this. And while I love hopium, it does it doesn't really help you when you're trying to figure out what to do. And remember, this isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. So look, here's the Bitcoin trend for the last couple months, going back to February. And if you look at it, we're in a downward, almost perfectly downward descending channel. I can draw the parallel line however you want. We do have a strong floor of support. If you go back here, we do have a strong floor of support over here. And I like to draw these candles with you, or these lines with you. But we have a pretty strong floor of support. But we also have a very strong ceiling of resistance. And if you look at these, I mean, gosh, we've bounced off it a couple times. It's right around that 80. We have one at 91.5, like right around here. And, until we break through that, we're just going to be bouncing around in this channel. And we haven't broken through this channel in a while. So look, we tested it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Bounced off that and went down. So we have, this has just been going bouncing off this thing. And, it can come all the way down to this level. If it busts through this floor of support, we have a long way down to run. I mean, a pretty long way down. And so this is not the news you wanted to hear, but it's going to take a pretty big event to pop through this ceiling of resistance. This is a very strong ceiling. It's been tested numerous times. All the way back until mid-January, it's been tested from the high, and we've gone down from the high. I said a couple whiles back that we hit a double top, and then we're bouncing down. And so I think it's going to take a very strong breakthrough, a very strong piece of information to break through that ceiling or channel. And right now, the biggest narrative out there is the tariffs. And April 2nd, there is more tariffs imposed on everybody. And so that is going to be a very telling time. Are deals going to be made prior to that April 2nd date, or are all the tariffs going to go through? And so with this uncertainty right now, it's basically, we're in FUD dilemma here: fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And because of that, that's really why you have this downward descending channel. The other big factor, which, we talk about a lot on these channels, we talk about all of the money supply. But if you look at this, the money supply, it's on the way up, and it does lag. Crypto does lag that. But look, I also see a big change happening with the Fed already. This is the CME Fed Rate Watch tool, and it shows that there's a 20% chance of a rate cut in the May meeting. Now, that could change drastically after April 2nd. June meeting, it's almost guaranteed of a rate cut, almost guaranteed, 68, 48, only a 16% chance of no rate cut. So it looks like the Fed is working towards, or they're going to be working towards, lowering rates. Well, that will increase liquidity throughout, and more liquidity, more money in your pocket, more chance you're going to buy and invest in crypto and things like that. And it's going to be also, if you have money in a checking or a money market account, you might be getting 4 or 4.5, maybe even 5% right now. That's a pretty good return that you don't have a risk with. So there's no reason to go out and find more risky assets. We've talked about this for months now on this channel. So if you're looking at liquidity, the Fed still has a lot of money on their balance sheets, but they did increase they decreased their sale of treasuries by $20 billion a month. That's a lot of liquidity back in the marketplace. They didn't decrease their sales of the mortgage-backed securities. They're still selling $35 billion a month of mortgage-backed securities. Rumor has it they're going to take the sale of those assets and they're going to parlay it over into buying treasuries. So you're doing quantitative tightening on mortgage-backed securities, or MBS, and you're doing a quantitative easing, honestly, actual easing of the treasuries. That hasn't happened yet, but there's been a lot of talk about that. A lot of smart people are talking about it. So, all in all, here's the one redeeming quality. And this is only redeeming in the sense that the trend is usually, or the marketplace is usually wrong. So right now, if you look at the 7-day BTC Binance perpetuals, you look at all of this liquidity on shorts. Everyone has shorted the market. And not everyone, but a lot of people have shorted the market. There's a ton of liquidity right here, a ton. There's not a lot of longs to get liquidated left. All the longs have left. I mean, this is pretty small volume, a couple hundred million. These are billions of dollars of shorts that can be liquidated if we just move up. So if you think the market doesn't see that, if you think the exchanges or the manipulators don't see all of this liquidity potential here, I don't know if you've been paying attention, because that's what I'm looking at is, look, this is an opportunity for manipulators to take this liquidity. If you look at XRPs, it's not quite as pronounced, but still, there's still a few longs that need to be liquidated down here. But there's a lot of short volumes that can get liquidated at these levels. So if you look at I'd say about 90% of the liquidation potential is if we get to 90,000 on Bitcoin, you've liquidated about 90% of those shorts, which, $90,000 is what are we at 81 and change right now? That's not a long far-fetched. We're at 82 and change. It's not far-fetched to think that we couldn't go to 90 in a flash, considering all that's going on. If we get really positive news on April 2nd, and a lot of the tariffs don't happen, or they minimize, I think about Germany. We import cars from Germany. They charge us a 5% tariff on our vehicles, and we're going to probably reciprocate, and Trump's saying with 25%, but he also said it's going to be reciprocal based on what that country is tariffing us. So that 25 might become 5% for Germany. Korea, South Korea, and places like that, they might see a higher import tariff on the vehicles coming into the United States. Don't know what it's going to look like. Deals might be made prior to April 2nd. Last minute, hey, please, let's do this. Let's do this. I know everyone talks tough until they get into the negotiating room and a deal's put in front of them. And I hope that's the way it goes. And if deals are made, you're going to see this market rebound more than likely. But also, liquidity is the important thing. It all comes back to liquidity. If there's money in people's pockets, they have money to invest. If there's no money in your pocket, you don't have money to invest. And that's why we're going to take a strong look at those liquidity, the M2 global supply of money, just liquidity in general. And Fed is the biggest supplier of liquidity out there. And seeing what they're going to do or not do is also going to be very, very instrumental in when things will come back. If they come back, maybe we're in the bear market. What do you think? Are we in the bear market? Are we still in a bull? Is it a cub market? What do you think is going to happen in the next month, 2 months? Do me a favor. If you made it this far, hit a like. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. Put your information, your thoughts down below if you think we're in a bear market, a bull market, and what we're going to do next. With that, I'm out of here. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.